Hey everybody, welcome back to What's New in School for June 8th, 2026. I want to wish my wife a very happy birthday, and I want to thank you all for tuning in and get some exciting stuff new at the school that I wanted to talk to you about this week. Of course, I'm going into several days of in-person training right here in our office, and we got some more people coming in next month as well, so I'm excited about that. But in any case, let's get into what's new in school for June 8th, and I got a quick little PowerPoint. I want to show you some stuff. First of all, just a rundown here, 12 new lessons. So if you are enrolled at the automation school, you got nearly 2 hours worth of new content, no charge to you. You will find it under the early access courses. Now, of course, if you have the ultimate or ultra bundle, you have all of these. If you only have like one course, then you'll only have maybe 6 or 7 of these, right? But in any case, lessons 201, 211 times 3, 212 times 3, 213 times 3, then 240, and APRR1. So this first one and these last two are generic Rockwell lessons that I'm putting in all the Rockwell courses, the PLC courses. And so that's the early access courses, right? So that's what I'm updating, and that's what's new for 2026. Next up, we have 9 new presentations and downloads. So there's 9 presentations there. These 3 courses, each of those presentations, I use some free open source stuff. So I'm giving them to you, even though I've added a bunch of notes and combined a bunch of different presentations, I'm giving them to students completely free of charge. Digital twin update, I want to talk about that. Additional free digital twins and what's next. So let's go ahead. And the first lesson I want to talk to you about was the history of Allen Bradley. This is like a 14-minute lesson where I go through, I'm teaching, ControlLogix 6500, PLC5, CompactLogix, ControlLogix, and Micro 800. And so I felt like I needed a lesson that kind of went through the history of Rockwell PLCs. I hope you guys enjoy this. This one's not required to watch, but I thought you guys would enjoy it. And of course, it's in each Allen Bradley PLC early access course. So if you're in multiple, you don't have to watch each one. You can just mark it complete right away. Now, following that, if you're in the ControlLogix course, you'll see in early access, you'll see the detailed 11-minute detailed overview on the 5570 controllers. Then we have the lessons on the 5580, that's about 9 minutes. And then after that, we have the lessons on the 5590, that's about 10 minutes. So really going into each of these controller families in detail, talking about the features, the specs, what they can do, what they can't do, and so on. And here's an example slide out of that slide deck. Again, using all free slides so I could give them away to you free after adding my notes and combining them all. Now from there, we go into the CompactLogix. And so again, I go over the 5370, take about 11 minutes to go into that. You can see an example slide here from the 5370 presentation. I go through all of this. This lesson is about 11 minutes long. And then I do a 9-minute lesson on the 5380. Of course, we have some of those here in the office as well as the 5370s. And then the 5390. Now this lesson's only about 5 minutes because the product's not out yet. So we'll expand this lesson once the product comes out. I am scheduled to go to Automation Fair this year, so I'm looking forward to that to get all the juicy details. I've actually already talked to the product manager about this product and getting him on the podcast. So hopefully we'll have a bonus lesson with that interview in the future. Now, I then go into the Micro 800 platform. So this is in the Micro 800 Early Access course. Again, 9 minutes just covering the platform. And then I got 4 minutes talking about the expansion. If you're not familiar with the Micro 800, they expanded it in 2014 and 2018. So here's a sample slide out of one of those slide decks. And then if we look at the final lesson, this is about 6 minutes. There's a lot of exciting stuff you can do with the new LXOE versions. We just picked up the 820. Of course, I already added a lesson to that, unboxing, and show you what comes in that. That's like the best starter pack out there. It's like $250, right? So if you wanted the PLC starter pack, again, it's not ControlLogix or CompactLogix, but still $250 for an Ethernet PLC with free software and emulation. It's pretty good. So I go over that and talk about their advanced features, and I'm really itching to do labs on those advanced features, but first things first, right? So in any case, what's next here at the Automation School? Well, like I said at the beginning, I got several days of training, so you probably won't see me for a couple weeks. And then what I want to get into is I want to finish up the MicroLogix 6500 PLC5 lessons that match the ones I just showed you. The MicroLogix slide deck, I think, is done, right? The SLC 500 one I'm still building, and the PLC5, it came out before PowerPoint existed, so very hard to find PowerPoints to use. But in any case, I we'll make something. I'll make something up. I have several copies of PLC 5 presentations I made over the years. I just want something a little bit more modern for our 2026 course. But in any case, also top manuals and documentation. I've recorded 4 of these. This is where I go through all the manuals you need to know. I show you where the wiring diagrams are. I show you how to select products. I show you where their current drawer is, where their ratings are. This is all the stuff, right? Dimensions, how to mount it. A lot of people mount stuff wrong, right? These are the things, with my 36 years doing this, that I want to share with students, right? So that you guys know. You need to know this. And this is where you're going to find that information, right? Which products don't come with the terminal blocks? That's always an angry phone call when somebody gets the product that has no terminal blocks. So 4 of those have already filmed. I think the Slick 500 PLC 5 is still going to film. Still have all the documents up here in another window. But in any case, and then I'm covering the local and distributed I/O separately from the controllers this time around in 2026, because some of the local I/O and some of the distributed I/O can be used with multiple platforms, right? So for instance, 5069 can be used with both 5380 and 5580 and up systems, right? So I wanted to make a generic 5069 video, same with Flex IO, same with Point IO, that I could share between the courses. Because if I need to update one, I don't want to update 4 or 5 different lessons, right? It's just, being a small business, you got to be efficient where you can be. So those will be coming. And then component selection, I'll walk you through for each of these 6 Allen Bradley courses, how to actually, size out a system, right? Using Rockwell's tools. Who wants to use the old paper? Matter of fact, I noticed they took out the sizing chart in some of the selection guides, so you can't do it manual anymore without making your own chart, which is kind of weird. And that's the other thing too. Whenever I cover a manual that I think you'll want to have, if Rockwell's taking it off their website, I'm uploading an archive copy to the automationschool.com and giving you a link to that. So for instance, like let's say the ControlLogix, the current selection guide only has the 1400 in it, but there's important information you need in there if you're maintaining, let's say 1000, 1200, 1500, or 1100, right? So in any case, that will be a download you can download. And that's why I should also just reiterate, those 9 presentations, there are downloads for each one of those where you can go and grab those presentations. I used free presentations. I updated them, I combined them, and I'm giving them to students free of charge. So that's what's coming. Now, I wanted to talk about the digital twin update. I still have to make some edits to the one I'm giving away. I see every day more and more people download a copy and are playing with it. I still need to do a couple tweaks to it. So, for instance, when the motor comes on, the auxiliary contacts don't close. So, sorry guys, I'll get that fixed. But in any case, and then with the latest version of the software, the digital twin I'm giving away, there's a bug in there. I'm going to work with the vendor. Already been emailing them back and forth to get that resolved. So if you're running an old version, you're already running the digital twin, just stay where you are. In any case, but one thing I was very excited about is, look at all the digital twins you can use inside of PLC Lab 3D Studio. These are all on the PLC Lab 3D Studio website. You can download them. A bunch of these actually get installed when you install the software. But these are all, for your, $24 a month or $22 a month, whatever 19 euros translates to. Or if you get the player, it's even less. If you just get the player, if you're not going to be building your own digital twins, you can just get the player. But look at all of these, and these are all free. And again, unlike some other packages, I'm a big fan of Factory IO. I teach courses on it. You really can't build your own things in it. They say you can, but you can't bring in other objects. So I struggled to try to recreate my widget maker inside of Factory IO because there's all these missing pieces. I won't spend a lot of time on that. But in any case, you can bring in anything you want, any 3D object you want into this package if you want to build your own digital twin. But look at all the ones that are coming with it at no charge. And again, you can see this all at the PLC Lab 3D Studio website. Again, also, they said it's working with version 20. I haven't tested it out yet because the model's not working with the latest version of the software. So I got to go and check on that as well. But in any case, I just wanted to let you guys know about this. It's a pretty awesome software. I mean, you can buy it once. I think it's $4.50, buy once, own forever. Or you can do like the 19 euros or 17 euros a month, depending on what level of features you want. But we are going to cover a lot of these in the courses. So in the level 1, probably won't get into any of these. But in the level 2, we're definitely going to be going through a lot of these. I may do a separate course on these as well. because there's just so many different great things to try. You can actually create your own and upload it too. So in any case, I did want to share that with you. And so with that, if you have any pre-sale questions, I should talk through this slide here. You can, if you're not a student already, of course, this is a student update, but if you're watching, you're like, hey, I want to be a student. Remember that all the courses I sell, they're buy once, own forever. And you can find them all at theautomationschool.com. And you'll also find the links to contact me. Contact me directly. Fill in a form and send me an email. You can even set up an MS Teams time to get with me. Of course, the next couple of weeks are crazy with all the in-person training. But you can also call and leave me a voicemail. I got a new phone coming in, so I'm going to be switching phones here later this week. So if you call in and I delay a couple of days getting back to you, just understand I'm switching phones. So in any case, just wanted to let you all know that. And with that, that is the end of this edition of What's New in School. If you have any questions, again, reach out to me. If you're a student, of course, you know the support email to hit me with. Or if you have a question on a course you're taking, just post it right there on the lesson itself. And with that, I just want to wish you all good health and happiness. Thank you for being a student at the Automation School. And until next time, my friends, peace.